Are you free this weekend? I asked, gripping the phone tighter than I should have. Asterisk, a pause. Then his voice flat, uninterested. Busy. Works insane. Asterisk. Oh, okay. Maybe next week. Asterisk, we'll see. That was the 5th time this month. I stared at my screen long after the call ended. No, I miss you. No, love you. Just cold silence. Again, asterisk, when did this start? After the engagement? Or maybe before, and I just didn't see it? Asterisk, I sat on Maheen's couch, eyes glassy. Do you think I'm clingy? Asterisk, she snorted. Are you seriously asking me that? Asterisk, Kamil said, I'm too emotional. That I need to stop acting like a teenager? Asterisk, she set her tea down. You've been with him 5 years. Areeba, 5. If needing emotional support makes you clingy, he's not ready for marriage. Asterisk, I think he's just stressed. He always gets distant when work piles up. Asterisk, you're still making excuses. For him, I stayed quiet. She leaned forward. When was the last time he texted you first? Asterisk, 3 weeks ago. But he's been asterisk busy, right? She sighed. You used to smile when you talked about him. Now you cry. I don't cry. You cried in my bathroom last week. I looked away. I'm sorry, she said gently. But you've become a ghost waiting for a man who can't even be bothered to check if you've eaten. Asterisk. He used to be different. Asterisk, then maybe that version of him is gone. I felt like something cracked in my chest. I went home that night and stared at the engagement dress hanging in my closet. Off-white with gold embroidery. I'd picked it with so much hope. My phone buzzed. Kamil. Sorry I missed your call. Just got out of a meeting. Asterisk, I typed. Can we talk? I miss you. I deleted it. Typed again. You feel so far away. Do you still want this? Deleted it. Finally I wrote, hope you're okay. He replied the next morning, yeah, just tired. That was it. Asterisk, I stared at those 3 words until my vision blurred. My fingers trembled as I typed again. Asterisk, do you even want to marry me? Please be honest. Asterisk, 3 dots appeared. Then stopped, then reappeared, then nothing. 2 hours later, the reply came. Stop being clingy. I need space. I read it once, twice, 10 times. Clingy, I whispered. Right. Asterisk, I didn't cry. Not then. Asterisk, I just sat on the edge of my bed, trying to remember the last time he hugged me like he meant it. The last time he looked at me without checking his phone. Maheen called later. I saw your status, she said. Are you okay? Asterisk, I'm fine. Asterisk, you're lying. Asterisk, he thinks I'm clingy. Asterisk, she cursed under her breath. You gave him everything. How dare he? Asterisk, I must have overwhelmed him. Asterisk, no, Areeba. He doesn't get to disappear for a year and blame you for needing answers. Asterisk, I waited, I whispered. I waited every single day. Asterisk, I know. Asterisk, I thought we were forever. I know, she repeated, softer this time. I finally broke then. The tears came all at once. My whole body shook. Asterisk, Maheen didn't say much after that. She just listened. Sometimes that's all you need. Asterisk, later that night, I opened our old chat, scrolled through years of memories, his jokes, his promises, the I love you that used to feel real. Then I deleted everything. Photos, chats, contacts. Asterisk, the silence felt louder, but cleaner. Asterisk, I stood in front of my mirror and looked at myself. Puffy eyes, pale skin, a shell. Asterisk, who even are you now? I asked the girl in the glass. She didn't answer, but she didn't cry either. Asterisk just stood there, breathing. Still here, still standing. Asterisk, and maybe, just maybe, that was a start. Asterisk, did he call you? Maheen asked as soon as I stepped into her apartment. Asterisk, I shook my head. No, he didn't even reply to my good morning text. Asterisk, she raised an eyebrow. Did you expect him to? Asterisk, don't know what I expect anymore. Asterisk, she handed me a cup of chai. He's not confused, Areeba. He's checked out. Asterisk, I sat on the couch and stared at my phone. No missed calls. No unread messages. Asterisk, I don't get it, I said quietly. We were planning our wedding. Now he acts like I'm a stranger. Asterisk, Maheen's voice softened. He's treating you like an obligation? That's not love. Asterisk, I bit my lip. I feel stupid. Asterisk, you're not stupid. You're loyal. There's a difference. Asterisk, I blinked away tears. My parents asked about him again today. I didn't know what to say. Asterisk, what did you tell them? Asterisk, that he's busy. Again. Asterisk, my hand sighed. You've been saying that for months. Asterisk, I looked down. What if it's me? What if I pushed too hard? Asterisk, no, she said firmly. You wanted basic respect. That's not too much. That's the bare minimum. I pulled out my phone again, scrolling through our last few texts. Me. Are we okay? Asterisk, Kamil. Tired. Asterisk, me. Can we talk tonight? Asterisk, Kamil. Busy. That was 3 days ago. 3 whole days of silence. Asterisk, I typed another message. Are you free to talk tonight? Then stared at it. Then deleted it. Again. My hand leaned closer. Why do you keep giving him chances he doesn't even ask for? Asterisk, because I love him. Asterisk, does he love you? The question hit me harder than it should have. I couldn't answer. Asterisk, that night, I went home and opened my photo gallery. There we were smiling at the beach, laughing in cafes, cutting our engagement cake. He looked happy. I looked safe. Now I felt neither. My mother knocked on my door. Beta, everything okay? Asterisk, I nodded. Yeah, just tired. Asterisk, she hesitated. We haven't seen Kamil in a while. Is something wrong? Asterisk, I forced a smile. No, Amma, he's just working late a lot. Asterisk, she gave a short nod and walked away, but I could feel her doubt. Asterisk, the door closed behind her, and I let out a shaky breath. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. On our engagement anniversary, I waited. Asterisk, I did my makeup. I wore the earrings. He liked asterisk, no message. No call. By midnight, I gave up. My hand called. Did he forget? Asterisk, I laughed bitterly. You can't forget something you don't care about. Asterisk, I'm so sorry. Asterisk, it's fine. Asterisk, it's not. Asterisk, no, but I am. Asterisk, she paused. What does that mean? Asterisk, I'm tired of waiting, of pretending, of being invisible. Asterisk, I stood by the window and stared into the night sky. Asterisk, a year ago. I was choosing invitation cards. Asterisk now. I was wondering if I even had a relationship left. I turned my phone off, and for once, I didn't feel like turning it back on. I stared at the blank message box again. Asterisk, just ask him, I thought. Be direct this time. No more hinting. Asterisk, I typed. Do you even still want to marry me? Please, be honest with me, Kamil. Sent. My heart pounded so hard I could feel it in my throat. Asterisk, minutes passed. Then an hour. Nothing. Asterisk, I opened and closed the app 5 times, hoping the 3 dots would appear. They didn't. 2 hours later, at 2:13 a.m., my phone buzzed. Asterisk, Kamil. Stop being clingy. I need space. Just that. No, sorry. No explanation. Asterisk, just. That asterisk, I stared at the message until it blurred. My fingers were frozen. I called Maheen immediately. She answered on the first ring. What happened? Asterisk, he replied. Asterisk and asterisk, he said. I'm clingy, and he needs space. Silence. I waited. Asterisk, then she whispered, That's it. Asterisk, that's it. Areeba. I begged him to be honest. And that's what he gave me. Asterisk, I felt my voice cracking, but I wasn't crying. Not yet. I can't believe I begged someone to stay who doesn't even see my worth. Asterisk, Maheen's voice trembled. You don't deserve this. Not even close. Asterisk, I laughed bitterly. You know what's funny? I deleted 3 other messages before sending that one. I tried being soft. I tried being direct. And in the end, he still made me feel pathetic. Asterisk, you're not pathetic. He is asterisk. I gave him 5 years. I never asked for anything big. Just time. Just attention. He made me feel guilty for needing the basics. Asterisk, I looked around my room, our framed photo still on my side table, the ring box in the drawer, the half-written wedding guest list on my desk. Asterisk, I walked over to the table, picked up the photo and stared at it. Asterisk, he was smiling. So was I. Asterisk, but I couldn't remember what we were laughing at. Asterisk, I smashed the frame on the floor. Asterisk, the glass shattered. Instantly. Asterisk, my hand didn't speak. She just stayed on the line. Asterisk, he doesn't love me, I said quietly. He hasn't in a long time. I was. Just convenient. Asterisk, you were never the problem. Asterisk, I know. You sound calm, she said cautiously. I think I'm just numb. Asterisk, do you want me to come over? Asterisk, no, I said. I think I need to sit with this. After the call ended, I curled up on the floor and stared at the broken pieces. One piece had our faces split perfectly down the middle. Asterisk, how poetic. I picked up my phone again and opened our old messages. His early good mornings. Asterisk, his I can't wait to marry you. But you make my world better voice notes. All lies now. Asterisk, I deleted the entire thread. Then his contact. Then the backup. Asterisk, the screen felt empty. But so did I the next morning. Alma noticed my face. You didn't sleep? Asterisk, I shook my head. No. Asterisk, is something wrong with Kamil? Asterisk, I paused. Then I said it. He doesn't want to marry me anymore. Asterisk, her eyes widened. What? When, how? Asterisk, I don't want to talk about it, Emma, please. Asterisk, she touched my arm gently. I'm here if you do. I nodded, but my throat was tight. Later, I went to Maheen's. As soon as I walked in, she hugged me tight. Asterisk, I'm proud of you, she whispered, even if it hurts. I didn't answer. We sat on our floor with ice cream and old music, playing low in the background. He really threw you away like you were nothing, she said. I let him. Asterisk, no, you trusted him. That's not a weakness. Asterisk, I feel like a fool. Asterisk, you were in love. Asterisk, I still am, I admitted. But I'm starting to love myself more. Asterisk, she smiled. That's where everything changes. Asterisk, for the first time in months. I believed her. Asterisk. I didn't touch my phone for 3 days. Asterisk, no messages, no calls. Nothing. Asterisk, my hand texted. I didn't reply. Asterisk, Emma knocked on my door. I pretended to sleep. Asterisk, I wasn't crying anymore. I just ... Existed. Asterisk, every day I sat in my room, watching the fan spin slowly above me. One night I stood in front of the mirror. My face was pale, lips cracked, eyes dulled. Asterisk, who even are you now? I whispered. The girl in the mirror stared back, silent and tired. My hand barged in the next morning without warning. Asterisk, Areeba opened the door. I didn't move. She entered anyway and dropped a paper bag on my bed. Asterisk, I brought biryani. You're eating. Asterisk, I looked at her. I'm not hungry. Asterisk, tough. I didn't ask. Asterisk, she sat down beside me, opened the container, and pushed a spoon into my hand. Asterisk, I didn't eat. I just stared. Asterisk, she sighed. You haven't left this room in a week. Asterisk, why should I? Asterisk, because you're still breathing. Asterisk, that's not enough anymore. Asterisk, she leaned forward. Areeba, you let a man dim your light. He doesn't deserve that kind of power. Asterisk, he made me feel like I was too much. Asterisk, no, he was too little. I looked away. She softened. I know it hurts. But this silence, this isolation, it's not healing. It's hiding. Asterisk, I don't know how to heal, double quotes, asterisk. You start small. Brush your hair. Drink water. Open the window. Asterisk, I blink, asterisk. That's it. Asterisk, that's it, she said. Then tomorrow, maybe you take a walk. Next week, you update your CV. Asterisk, I let out a bitter laugh. You think a job will fix this? Asterisk, no, she said. But it'll remind you that you exist outside of him. Asterisk, I stared at the biryani, picked up the spoon. I took one bite, then another. Then I cried. Soft, shaky sobs into a paper napkin. Mahan pulled me into a hug. You didn't deserve what he did. I gave him everything, I whispered, and now it's time to give that to yourself. Asterisk, later that night, I opened my closet and took out the engagement dress. Asterisk, I folded it carefully and packed it away. Asterisk, not because I wanted to forget, but because I was done holding on. Asterisk, you're actually early, Mahan said, raising an eyebrow as I walked into the cafe. Asterisk, I gave a small smile. Don't act shocked. I'm changing. Asterisk, changing? She sipped her chai. You mean you finally updated your CV? Asterisk, I pulled out a printed copy. 3 versions. I applied to 5 companies yesterday. Asterisk, she clapped. Look at you, 1 week out of the cave and already slaying. Asterisk, I'm not slaying, I'm surviving. Asterisk, same thing sometimes. Asterisk, 2 weeks later, I sat across from a panel in a small software firm. My palms were sweaty. My voice trembled, but I spoke. They called back the next day. Asterisk, you got the job, the woman said on the phone. Asterisk, I almost didn't believe her. My hand screamed louder than I did. First step out of Heartbreak. Hell, she shouted, dancing in the kitchen. Asterisk, on my first day. I walked into the office with a knot in my stomach. That's when I met him. Hey, you must be new, he said with a warm smile. Asterisk, I nodded. Areeba. Asterisk, Ayan, he replied, offering a hand. Marketing, asterisk. Content writing, asterisk. Nice. First job? Asterisk. First in a long time. He didn't ask why. I liked that. Asterisk. Over the next few weeks, we bumped into each other during breaks. He always had something kind to say. Asterisk. You look more confident today, he said once. I wore eyeliner, I replied. Works for you? Asterisk. Some days we sat silently in the break room, sipping tea. Asterisk. Other days, he asked small questions. Asterisk. Ever been to Murray? Asterisk. Yeah, once, with someone. He didn't push. I appreciated that more than he knew. Asterisk. One afternoon, he handed me a Kit Kat without a word. I looked at it, confused. You look like you needed chocolate, he said. Asterisk. I smiled. I did. I told Mahan about him that night. He's nice, I said, carefully. Asterisk. Oh? Asterisk. He doesn't flirt. He doesn't act weird. He's just there. Asterisk. And that's rare, huh? Asterisk. Too rare. I didn't call him a friend. I didn't want to label it yet, but I felt safe. And that mattered more than butterflies. Asterisk. One Friday evening, he asked, you doing anything after work? Asterisk. Nope. Asterisk. Want to grab coffee? Asterisk. I paused. As friends? Asterisk. He nodded. Of course. Asterisk. We sat at a tiny rooftop cafe under fairy lights. He talked about losing his father young. I talked about losing myself for a while. Asterisk. You seem strong, he said. Asterisk. I wasn't. Asterisk. But you're now. I didn't argue. For once, I believed it. Asterisk, when he dropped me home, he didn't linger. Asterisk just smiled and said, "See you Monday." That night, I stood by my window. The city buzzed below. Asterisk, I felt quiet, but not empty. Not anymore. Asterisk asterisk morning after Kamil showed up. I found an email from him. Subject, please read this. I stared at it for a minute. Then I clicked. Areeba, I don't know where to begin. I know I hurt you. I was stupid. I thought you'd always wait. I thought you were just emotional, but now I see you were the only one who truly cared. I don't deserve a second chance, but I need to say this. I still love you. If there's any part of your heart that still remembers me, please don't marry him. Talk to me first. Kamil, I closed the laptop. No tears, just a quiet sigh. Asterisk later that afternoon. He texted Mahan, asterisk Kamil, please. Just convince her to meet me one more time. Mahan called me immediately. He's desperate. Asterisk. He's late. Asterisk. He sounds serious now. Asterisk. Now. I laughed. After ghosting me for a year. Asterisk. I'm not saying go back, she said. Carefully. I'm saying, do you want to say anything to him face to face? For closure? I thought for a moment, then nodded. Maybe I do. That evening, I met Kamil at a cafe near the one we used to love. He stood when I arrived, nervous, hands trembling slightly. Asterisk, you came, he said softly. Asterisk, I'm not here to hear another excuse. I replied. Asterisk, he nodded, looking ashamed. I understand. Asterisk, I sat. Say what you came to say. Asterisk, I didn't know what I was doing back then. I thought you'd always be there. That you'd forgive anything. Asterisk, you were wrong. Asterisk, he nodded again. I was a coward. I couldn't handle your emotions, your love, because I didn't know how to love properly. Asterisk, I stared at him. You didn't even try. You left me alone to doubt myself. Asterisk, I regret it every single day. Asterisk, you should, I said. But your regret isn't my responsibility. Asterisk, he looked at me, pain in his eyes. Can't we fix this? No, Areeba, please. Asterisk, you broke something I didn't know could break, I whispered. I begged for crumbs. I cried myself to sleep. You didn't even notice. Asterisk, I was selfish. Asterisk, no, I said. You were empty. And I kept pouring myself into you until there was nothing left of me. He stayed silent. I found someone who never made me feel like I had to earn his love, I said. Do you even know what that's like? Being accepted for who you are? Not who you're pretending to be. I can be that person now. No, I interrupted. That version of me is gone. And she's never coming back. Asterisk, he sat there deflated. So this is it? Asterisk, this was over a long time ago. I said. You just didn't notice. I stood. He looked up. Areeba. I'm sorry. Asterisk, I forgive you, I said quietly. But I'll never forget. He didn't follow me this time. He just sat there, staring at the cup of tea he never touched. When I got home, Ayan was waiting with dinner. How was it? He asked gently. Asterisk, final. Asterisk, he smiled. Good. Asterisk, I sat beside him. He begged. Asterisk, I figured. Asterisk, he regrets everything. Asterisk, Ayan looked at me. Do you? Asterisk, not anymore. I leaned against him, feeling his steady heartbeat. I don't want drama, I whispered. Asterisk, you won't get that with me. Asterisk, I don't want to fix someone. Asterisk, you won't need to. Asterisk, I just want peace. Asterisk, you have it. Asterisk, and in that quiet moment, I knew. Asterisk, closure wasn't something he gave me. Asterisk, it was something I gave myself. Mahan burst through my office door, waving her phone like it was on fire. Asterisk, he knows. Asterisk, I blinked. Who? Asterisk, Kamil. Your engagement post with Ayan went viral. Someone from his circle reshared it. Asterisk, I froze. Wait, how do you know? Asterisk, because she said, sitting down, he just texted me. Asterisk, what did he say? Asterisk, she smirked. He said, is this some joke? Areeba's getting married? Asterisk, my stomach twisted. He really said that? Asterisk, like he owns you. Asterisk, I exhaled. Let him text me directly if he has questions. Asterisk, he probably will. He did. Later that night, my phone lit up. Asterisk Kamil. Areeba? What is this I'm seeing? I stared at the screen for a moment. Then I locked the phone and walked away. No reply. Not tonight. Asterisk, the next day. A call came through. I didn't recognize the number at first, but the voice was unmistakable. Areeba. I said nothing. You're getting married? His tone was sharp. Asterisk, I am. Asterisk, to him. Asterisk, I raised an eyebrow. Yes, Kamil, to someone who shows up. Asterisk, he went quiet. Then, we need to talk. Asterisk, no, we really don't. Asterisk, you're just doing this to get back at me. Asterisk, I laughed. Not everything is about you. Asterisk, I didn't think you'd actually move on. Asterisk, why? Because I cried over you? Because I begged for your attention? Asterisk, he exhaled. You didn't give me time. Asterisk, I gave you a year. You gave me silence. Asterisk, he paused. I wasn't ready. Asterisk, you didn't say that. You said I was clingy. He fell silent again. I needed space. He muttered. Asterisk, and I needed love. I snapped. You vanished, Kamil. I waited like a fool. I blamed myself. Asterisk, I made mistakes. Asterisk, no. You made choices. Asterisk, there was a long pause. Then his voice softened. Asterisk, I didn't know what I had until I lost it. I felt nothing. No anger. No pain. Just stillness. Asterisk, that's the thing, I said. You didn't lose me. You threw me away. Areeba, I ended the call. Blocked his number. 2 days before the wedding. He came to my house. I opened the door and stared at him. He looked smaller than I remembered, like guilt had shrunk him. I just want 5 minutes, he said. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. He looked at my hands. Asterisk, you're really marrying him? Asterisk, yes. Asterisk, do you love him? Asterisk, I smiled. He never made me question my worth. That's love enough. Asterisk, his eyes lowered. I was afraid. Asterisk, so was I of never being enough, of always waiting. Asterisk, I was confused. Asterisk, no, you were careless. Asterisk, he looked away. I didn't think you'd actually leave. Asterisk, you left first? I just stopped. Following. Asterisk, he reached out slightly. Do you ever miss me? Asterisk, I tilted my head. I miss who I thought you were, not who you became. Asterisk, he stepped back. I regret everything. Asterisk, I nodded. You should. Then I turned and walked inside. I didn't look back. That night, Ayan brought me coffee on the rooftop. You okay? He asked. Asterisk, I smiled. Strangely, yes. Asterisk, he sat beside me. You don't have to explain anything. Asterisk, I know, I said. That's why I feel safe. Asterisk, he nodded. You deserve that. Asterisk, I leaned my head on his shoulder and whispered, I never thought peace would feel like this. Asterisk, the morning after Kamil showed up, I found an email from him. Subject, please read this. I stared at it for a minute. Then I clicked. Areeba, I don't know where to begin. I know I hurt you. I was stupid. I thought you'd always wait. I thought you were just emotional, but now I see you were the only one who truly cared. I don't deserve a second chance, but I need to say this. I still love you. If there's any part of your heart that still remembers me, please don't marry him. Talk to me first. Kamil, I closed the laptop. No tears, just a quiet sigh. Asterisk, later that afternoon, He texted Mahan, asterisk Kamil, please. Just convince her to meet me one more time. Mahan called me immediately. He's desperate, asterisk. He's late. Asterisk. He sounds serious now. Asterisk. Now. I laughed. After ghosting me for a year? Asterisk. I'm not saying go back, she said. Carefully. I'm saying, do you want to say anything to him face to face? For closure? I thought for a moment, then nodded. Maybe I do. That evening, I met Kamil at a cafe near the one we used to love. He stood when I arrived, nervous, hands trembling slightly. Asterisk, you came, he said softly. Asterisk, I'm not here to hear another excuse. I replied, asterisk, he nodded, looking ashamed. I understand. Asterisk, I sat. Say what you came to say. Asterisk, I didn't know what I was doing back then. I thought you'd always be there. That you'd forgive anything. Asterisk, you were wrong. Asterisk, he nodded again. I was a coward. I couldn't handle your emotions, your love, because I didn't know how to love properly. Asterisk, I stared at him. You didn't even try. You left me alone to doubt myself. Asterisk, I regret it every single day. Asterisk, you should, I said. But your regret isn't my responsibility. Asterisk, he looked at me, pain in his eyes. Can't we fix this? No. Areeba, please. Asterisk, you broke something I didn't know could break, I whispered. I begged for crumbs. I cried myself to sleep. You didn't even notice. Asterisk, I was selfish. Asterisk, no, I said. You were empty. And I kept pouring myself into you until there was nothing left of me. He stayed silent. I found someone who never made me feel like I had to earn his love, I said. Do you even know what that's like? Being accepted for who you are, not who you're pretending to be. I can be that person now. No, I interrupted. That version of me is gone. And she's never coming back. Asterisk, he sat there deflated. So this is it? Asterisk, this was over a long time ago. I said, you just didn't notice I stood? He looked up. Areeba. I'm sorry. Asterisk, I forgive you, I said quietly. But I'll never forget. He didn't follow me this time. He just sat there, staring at the cup of tea he never touched. When I got home, Ayan was waiting with dinner. How was it? He asked gently. Asterisk, final. Asterisk, he smiled. Good. Asterisk, I sat beside him. He begged. Asterisk, I figured. Asterisk, he regrets everything. Asterisk, Ayan looked at me. Do you? Asterisk, not anymore. I leaned against him, feeling his steady heartbeat. I don't want drama, I whispered. Asterisk, you won't get that with me. Asterisk, I don't want to fix someone. Asterisk, you won't need to. Asterisk, I just want peace. Asterisk, you have it. Asterisk, and in that quiet moment, I knew. Closure wasn't something he gave me. It was something I gave myself. Asterisk, asterisk, are you nervous? Ayan asked, adjusting his cufflinks. Asterisk, I looked at him in the mirror and smiled. Strangely. No. Asterisk, you've been calm all day. Asterisk, because I'm not afraid anymore, I said, tightening my earrings. I've already survived the worst version of love. Asterisk, he walked over and offered his hand. Ready? Asterisk, I took it, always. Asterisk, the venue was small, nothing fancy. Just close friends, family, and soft lights. Asterisk, my hand caught me at the entrance, her eyes wide with emotion. Asterisk, you look like the woman I always knew was inside you. Asterisk, I hugged her tightly. Thank you for never leaving. Asterisk, she whispered. Now go marry someone who actually deserves you. Asterisk, I walked toward the stage, step by step, dress flowing. Heart steady. Asterisk, for a moment. I thought about that engagement dress still folded in a box. It didn't hurt anymore. When I reached Ayan, he smiled gently, not wide. Not flashy. Asterisk, just safe. The ceremony began. I've never seen someone glow like you do, the officiant said softly before starting. Asterisk Aeon whispered in my ear, "This is real, right?" Asterisk, I nodded. Very real. Asterisk, the vows weren't poetic. Just honest, asterisk. I'll never ask you to shrink, he said. I'll never ask you to wait in silence. Asterisk, I looked into his eyes. And I'll never settle for less than respect again. Asterisk, he slipped the ring on my finger, simple, gold, perfect. Asterisk, when it was over, everyone clapped. But I barely noticed because I was too focused on how light I felt, not because I was in love. Asterisk, but because I had finally loved myself enough to walk away from what didn't. Asterisk later, on the rooftop of our new apartment, he brought me chai in my favorite mug. Asterisk, we sat in silence for a while, the city buzzing below us. I used to think love had to be complicated, I said. Same, he replied. But now I think it should be steady. Asterisk, I turned to him. Do you ever feel afraid that maybe you'll mess up? Asterisk, he nodded. Of course, but the difference is I'll never disappear. Asterisk, I smiled. You know, I didn't marry you out of revenge. Asterisk, I know. Asterisk, I married you because you didn't make me feel like I was too much. Asterisk, he placed his hand over mine. You're just enough. And then some. Asterisk, I leaned my head on his shoulder. Closing my eyes, I wasn't thinking about the past anymore. I wasn't thinking about Kamil. I wasn't thinking about the girl who used to cry herself to sleep. I was here, present, whole, asterisk, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was waiting for something else to come save me, because I had already saved myself. Mahan called me one afternoon while I was folding laundry. Asterisk, you're not going to believe this, she said. Asterisk, what now? I laughed. You're pregnant? Asterisk, I wish. No, it's about Kamil. Asterisk, I froze. What happened? Asterisk, he moved. Abroad, Canada, I think. Quietly, deleted his social media. Asterisk, really? I sat down. Didn't think he had it in him. Asterisk, apparently his cousin told someone he's been depressed for months. He never really bounced back after you. Asterisk, I was silent for a few seconds. Asterisk, Mahan hesitated. Are you okay? Asterisk, I'm fine, I said. And I meant it. Asterisk, you sure? Asterisk, yeah, I don't feel anything, honestly. Asterisk, you used to cry just hearing his name. Asterisk, I know. Asterisk, she laughed lightly. God, remember when you said you couldn't breathe without him? Asterisk, I also thought ketchup on biryani was normal once we all grow. We both burst out laughing. Later that night, I sat on the balcony with my journal. I flipped back to the page from almost a year ago. Why? Wasn't I enough? Asterisk, why did he stop loving me? Asterisk, what if I never heal? I looked at those questions and smiled because I had the answers now. I was always enough. He never loved me the way I deserved, and I had healed. I looked over at a yawn inside the apartment, humming to himself in the kitchen. Asterisk, he didn't rescue me. Asterisk, he met me where I was whole, rebuilt, and finally mine again. Asterisk, suddenly, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I picked up. Asterisk, hello. Asterisk, silence for a second. Then asterisk, Areeba. Asterisk, I blinked. Kamil? Asterisk, yeah, I just wanted to hear your voice once. My heart didn't race. It didn't ache. It didn't flinch. I just sighed. Why? Asterisk, I don't know. I guess I still think about you. Asterisk, I don't. Asterisk, hey. Went quiet. Asterisk, unhappy now, Kamil, I said gently. And I hope you find your peace too. Asterisk, I'm sorry. Asterisk, I know, I replied, but that chapter's closed. Asterisk, are you really married? Asterisk, yes, and I'm loved. Asterisk, he let out a breath. Good. Then he hung up. No begging. Just a soft goodbye. Asterisk, I turned to Ian as he walked out, 2 mugs in hand. Asterisk, everything okay? He asked that asterisk. Yeah, I smiled. Just a ghost from the past. Asterisk, want to talk about it? Asterisk, I shook my head. No need. We clinked mugs, and I realized ... asterisk, some goodbyes aren't losses, they're gifts. Do you remember what you used to say about me? I asked Mahan as we sat on her rooftop, sipping cold drinks under a lazy sunset. Asterisk, she smirked. That you were dramatic? Asterisk, I laughed. No, before that. Asterisk, she thought for a second. That you were intense. All heart, no breaks. Asterisk, I nodded. I believe that was a flaw. Asterisk, it never was, she said softly. He just didn't know how to handle someone who felt deeply. Asterisk, I looked out over the city. You know, Kamil said I was too emotional. Too clingy, too much. Asterisk, my hand leaned back in her chair. He didn't know what enough looked like. Asterisk, I spent months shrinking myself to fit into his cold little world. Asterisk, and now? Asterisk, I take up space, I said proudly. I cry. When I want, I laugh loud. I ask for what I need. That's called healing, she grinned. That night, I lay in bed next to Hawaiian ... asterisk he was reading. I was journaling. Asterisk, I paused and looked at him. Can I ask you something? Asterisk, of course. Asterisk, do I ever feel like too much? Asterisk, he looked up, confused. What does that mean? Asterisk, like emotionally. Do I overwhelm you? Asterisk, he reached for my hand. You're passionate, honest, raw, but never too much. You're just real. Asterisk, I blinked back something in my throat. Thank you. Asterisk, for what? Asterisk, for seeing me. Asterisk, he smiled. You make it impossible not to. I kissed his cheek and went back to writing. In my journal, I wrote, I used to think I had to be smaller to be loved. But now I know asterisk, the right ones won't flinch when you show your full self, asterisk, they'll lean in. The next morning, I walked past my closet and opened the bottom drawer. Inside was a folded envelope. Old, wrinkled. It was the letter I wrote to Kamil the night I almost left it all behind. I opened. It one last time, asterisk, please just say you love me. That you see me, that you care. I smiled gently and tore it in half, then again, and again, until the pieces didn't hurt anymore. Asterisk, later that day, Mahan and I took a walk through the old street where Kamil and I used to meet. Asterisk, this used to be your heartbreak lane. She joked. Asterisk, I looked around. Now it's just a street. And that's when I knew. I had rewritten every memory. Asterisk, not by erasing them, but by living better ones on top of them. We stopped at a small chai stall. Asterisk, the uncle there smiled. You look peaceful, Betty. Asterisk, I nodded. I am. As we walked home, I whispered something I hadn't said in years. I'm proud of myself. Asterisk, my hand hurt me. She smiled. Asterisk, you should be.